Today we are talking The Long Game. I am so excited. This is a movie that I watched twice. It's set in 1955, one of my favorite eras of all time, and it follows the story of five young teenage Mexican Americans who, unbeknownst to them, will go on to become golf champions. The main characters that are of the boys are so inspiring. I mean, they are young and vibrant and they have so much ahead of them. And these characters, these actors, they're so fantastic. I mean, look at those faces. I mean, that enough should be a reason for you to go and watch it. No, I'm not here just to gush about it, but I will be gushing about it. I will also be sharing a little bit more about myself and why I think this movie is so important. Hi everyone, I am Jessica Gibson, the leading lady of Kaleidoscopes and Polka, where I sell handmade, vintage-inspired jewelry that honors Hispanic American heritage. Today, I want to welcome you, if you don't know me, and also for you to invite you to my newsletter, because that is the best way to stay in touch and to also save a little bit of money. Right now, we're all looking for a little bit of savings wherever we can, especially when it comes to things that we want versus things that we need, such as jewelry. But it's also by signing up, you never miss a video. I told my newsletter subscribers yesterday that this was going to happen, and only today did I get around to actually scheduling it because as I mentioned, I'm the leading lady of Kaleidoscopes and Polka Dots, and I do everything around here. Anyway, let's get started with today's video, and that is, let's talk about the Mustangs, the young boys, and all of the things that they did. Anyway, not really. I really want to talk about how beautifully written this movie is. Yes, it's beautifully written, and it's incredibly shot. The director is Julio Quintana. I've never watched any of his other movies. I can't wait to get started on it, but I have, of course, watched movies with Dennis Quaid, and Nothing Like the Holidays is one of my favorite movies, and Jay Hernandez does star in that movie as well. In that movie, he has a bit of a different character. He is a younger, troubled young man, and in this one he really takes on the role of mentor, and he did such a good job. I compared it the first time to Miracle, the early 2000s Disney movie that follows the 1980s Olympic hockey team, and it is inspirational, but it's not quite of a high stakes movie. It is it's inspirational, and it does produce a bit of tension along the way. And you do cheer for them, and you do think that something bad is going to happen. But ultimately, the whole time, you're at ease because the pace is slower. So that's nice. I'm not really big on action, and that's one of my biggest gripes with it is like, when am I going to get a little breather here, That's also another reason why I don't watch Miracle all that often unless I really want to get into something. Enough of Miracle. The Long Game. The Long Game is, I think the dialogue is the reason why I love the movie so much. It starts off, the first time that I really tuned in to how beautiful and well written it was when Jay Hernandez approaches Joe, the main boy of the five. And I don't know if you can see him very well. I think this is him over here. Oh, you can't see my mouse. Anyway. So Joe is a troubled young boy who doesn't have the best situation at home. His dad is troubled, his mom is not around, and his biggest concern is not letting down his dad. And as a result, he makes a lot of decisions based off of making his dad proud. And I think a lot of us can understand what this is coming from, and Sorry, I am so excited that you're here, Mr. Sergeant. I'm so excited. I'm talking about The Long Game today. I hope you watch it, and I hope you love it. I'm also streaming on YouTube and X and IG, so that's all the things that I'm doing here. Anyway, so Jay Hernandez approaches Joe, and Joe is choosing not to participate in the team, and it breaks his heart, Jay's heart, because Jay Hernandez knows that he has a lot of potential, and he gives him a really good speech, and it boils down to some opinions matter more than others. It's a hard truth to swallow, but it's the fact of life. And sometimes you have to take one for the team, and in doing so, you come out ahead. But you won't know until you push yourself and you get out there and you do the thing. And so then, of course, Joe joins the team. And when he joins, then he follows up, Jay Hernandez follows up with another incredible speech where he tells the people, his young boys, hey, you can't just be good players. You actually have to look the part. People will not take you seriously if you do not look the part. And another hard fact of life, but it's true. You have to. And well, as you can tell, Jay Hernandez is all about following the rules. And Dennis Quaid comes in and he tells them, hey, yeah, I get what you're saying here. And I understand, but, oh, I didn't mention this. They're both veterans. I think they both served in World War II. And Jay Hernandez reported to Dennis Quaid. And Dennis Quaid received all the accolades, the promotion, the medals. Jay Hernandez received nothing. This is 1950s, okay? So in 1945, all of this happened. And he tells them sometimes following the rules means nothing, and it makes things worse. And he related it back to a story from being in the field and having to lose 1,300 boys. They were all young boys. I cannot imagine going through that. That was a really hard part of the movie. It wasn't even like very, like they didn't do they didn't go back in time to show us this, but you can just feel his hurt from having to follow the rules. And that really stood out to me. And there's just so many beautifully written stories throughout it. One of my favorite characters is Cheech. They call him Pollo. Let me see if I can show you him in his full beauty. Look at that beautiful face. So Pollo is kind of like the Yoda, but kind of like the crazy man that has some really insightful wisdom in a convoluted way. He, of course, is Cheech from Cheech and Chong, and he does such a good job at acting like he's not really all that there, but he really is all that there. He does such a good job. I loved watching him on the big screen. Again, it's been years since I've seen him do anything, so that was really fun. And if you didn't know, this movie is actually based off of a true story. I did purchase the book, and I'm so excited. These are the real young men right here that this story is based off of. And there's a podcast that I'm excited to listen to, and come back and talk to you guys about, and also read the book and talk more about it, because there is so much to the story. I love period pieces because they really help us understand how far we've come and what it means to be an American, being a Mexican American. Okay. There's a scene in the movie where the young boys decide that they want to cross the border, the river. They go across the river because it's their chance. It's their chance to go visit their motherland. And they're met with such vitriol almost instantly. And of course, it's incredibly heartbreaking. But again, it's making the most of what you have. And by this, I'm talking about myself. Of course I am. My favorite person. Who's your favorite person? You. Of course you are. So this part reminded me of how uncomfortable sometimes I become when I'm asked to speak Spanish, because my Spanish is so broken. It's something that I'm working on, especially this year. I decided this year is going to be the year that my Spanish becomes what it used to be. And I mean, the only time that I visited Mexico since we left was when I was 15 years old. I moved here, initially moved here when I was 5, and then I left. We went to take care of some immigration paperwork when I was 15, and being there for a full month, I felt like such an outsider. It was a thing that I didn't expect. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm finally going to go back to my motherland, to where I belong, because everybody here in the States treats me like I'm not there. Not everybody, but you know. You know. If you are of mixed heritage, you kind of understand. And the distinction, it was present, and it was so hard. And for these young boys, they felt it right away. And it's hard not to internalize that, because I think a lot of us can understand what that feels like. Now, not everybody treats you like you're an outsider, but many do. And I feel like it's really an internal struggle, and it's something that we need to fight through to belong, because we don't want to let go of that. But we are American. Oh, there's a great scene that also Jay Hernandez is like, so Jay enters them into the competition, and the head guy is like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were American. I got that impression over the phone. And Jay's like, yeah, well, you know, I am. And the thing is, I don't think any of us presently could possibly understand what that's like, because what is America? It's an amalgamation of so many different cultures. And that is America. We are Americans, all of us, regardless of what we look like. I mean, if we follow the rules, if we become citizens, if we make this our homeland, this is our motherland, you know? And it's just so lovely to see how far we've come, and to feel the appreciation for America on the screen. I loved it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That is it for me today. Again, I would highly encourage you to go and subscribe to my newsletter, and also please do also register to vote. This is an important year. Get out and vote. If you don't know, that little flag up there is the flag that I received last year when I became an American citizen. And this year is going to be the very first time that I vote. I'm so excited. That's why I have to plug it in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do watch it, please let me know what you thought of it, and how much you loved it or you didn't like it. What were your thoughts? Did anything stick out? I would love to comment back, and see you soon. Bye, guys.